this is Mattjestic Gaming. I'm here to bring you a Dota chess Goblin guide. So the idea of a Goblin guide is to collect your Goblin trials, 3 goblins, as fast as you can, and once you start doing that, you'll be able to enable your Goblin 3 Goblin class combo, which gives you 15 armor and 15 regeneration. So this time I opt for locking in my first row, which means I won't be getting a second row, and having 2 goblins. Usually I would prefer rolling instead of getting 1 guaranteed goblin, because initially your rate of drop is pretty high. You have a 70% of tier 1 and 30% of tier 2, and this means there's higher chance of getting 1 or 2 more goblins at the start of the game. But this time, for the sake of safety, I opt for locking in. And someone told me once the drop rate for items is about 20%. So probability speaking, it's about 1 item for the first 2 rounds, but I've seen 4 or 5 items. So it's really RNG based, and this Goblin build doesn't require a lot of items, which is a positive. Right now we're looking at 3 goblins, but that's not the 3 we wanted. So what's going to happen on the next round is a key round, because after the 4th round we'll be looking at a PvP battle. And during the PvP battle, it's actually the first decider to see if you can start your win streak or if you actually have weaker units. And for Goblin build, we usually will have the stronger units, and the win streak is essential for us to continue the income battle. Our Goblin build is really strong at the start of the game, but it falls off at the mid of the game. So the key is to balance your income, your units, and leveling up for the late game. So this row will be essential. Let's see what we get. Of course, everyone's gonna finish the battle, and it gets items, of course. For those that loses this battle, it doesn't really mean anything. So we get 1 goblin, and that's not really the best thing. I'm gonna roll once, and I got my last goblin, which is excellent. And also I got a tier 2 bounty hunter, which is really good as well. What I'll do is I'll give all my items to the bounty hunter. This will guarantee that I get a win streak with the highest probability, because this bounty hunter now is basically my carry. My unit position is actually pretty well thought of, so each of my units are positioned in a particular way, which I'll explain as we go. So with the 3 goblin build, or with any goblin build, after getting 3 different goblins on the table, you get a goblin buff, and this buff gives you armor and regeneration. And because you choose the unit randomly, usually it might give to the Tinker 1 in 3 chance, and that's not what we wanted, because the Tinker won't be tanking or soaking up the damage, and by the time 2 other units dies, Tinker will be left alone and just a sitting duck. Tinker is only good for 1 vs 1 battles and not like a centimate, etc. So this is the key part of the build. Each round as we go, I'll be rolling for goblins. As you can see, my luck is not very high, and we're stuck, but it's okay. We have 4 goblins. The bounty hunter is always on the side. The Tinkers are lined at the front, so in any case, if I do get a goblin buff, they will be able, or they have a chance to soak the damaging. I'm collecting Enchantress because as the game so far, or even with this most recent update for 28th and 27th of January, the update still states that when you sell 2 Enchantress, which 2 Druids forms into a tier 2 Enchantress, you still receive an extra gold, which I'll show you as we go. And we just lost this one, because by whatever chance happened, the knights had better armor and our goblins didn't tank enough. And of course the demon CK is really strong at the start, which is okay. It's okay to lose the initial 3 battles, but as we go with the goblin build, we should be strong enough that we keep winning and gain the winning streak. RNG is not giving us much of anything. So now we'll be in a bit of trouble if we don't get any goblins, which we did get one. Sell one of my backup enchantress. Fuses into one. So I still want my Tinker to tank, and that's why my Tinker is on the second position. I'll be taking a bit of time talking about the positioning right now. Looking at my positioning of my units. Melee units are usually at the front. This mini unit is susceptible for 2 instances of damage or even more. See, as it goes, it takes 2 damage. This one usually accepts 1 damage or receives 1 damage. This time our Tinker has the defense buff, which is not a bad thing, because it's a good position. It gains mana as the enemy attacks it, and as it attacks, it also gains mana. So that's why this round was pretty quickly. So the position of my units again, my off-tank or my assassin is usually positioned at the front. And as we go, we're gonna start rolling. And just by magic or whatever chance that happens, we get no goblins. Usually at this time you want to see if people are also playing goblins. And you know, right now goblins is not the most popular build. It used to be a popular build for beginners. But as people get into the game, as people understand the game, goblins falls off really quickly because it has no mid to late game. Unless you get your 6 goblins, which due to the previous nerf, now the drop rate for tier 5 or legendary units as low as they can get until you get to level 9 or level 10 builder. I think this was the guy that defeated me earlier, but as my goblins build up, I'll become increasingly stronger with the shield. As you can see again, my Tinker is tanking a lot of damage. With its 10 plus 15 armor, it's reducing physical damage by 61%. Also regenerating health at 25 health per second, which is really strong. Now Timber Sword is a really good tank at the start for any race actually.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
So we're gonna keep Timber. I'm gonna buy another Clockwork. We have 3 Clockwork, which is excellent. So why am I doing this? Why am I shifting it? It's because again, this positioning, you're likely to receive 2 to 3 attackers. This one will be 1. This one will be almost 1 to none. And you want each of your units to receive damage and deal damage to be able to cast their spells as quickly as you can. So as you can see, this Clockwork is receiving 2 instances of damage. This one is receiving 1 instance of damage. And because my Clockwork is currently my strongest tank, it easily tanks that, and we win with ease. Now it's really important to look at the win streak. Currently we're at 1 win streak, so this means each time we win, we'll gain additional 1 gold for the win streak. So right now we can add another unit, another Timber, another Bounty Hunter. So should I refresh? I could refresh, and we didn't get anything, which is okay. Again, we want units to receive damage equally, because as they receive damage equally, they can cast their spells as early as possible and also spread the damage. The good thing about the Goblin build is that most of the units are mechs, and with mechs, their special ability is regeneration. So if we receive damage evenly and with regeneration, we have a chance of more sustainability. And this means we tank for much more. And Timber is one of the best tanks in the game. Looking at Timber, 10 armor, reduced damage by 37% physically, and it has the Walling Death, which is an AoE spell which hits for 9 squares on the map, and also does a decent amount of damage. Now someone told me that this does not deal true damage, and this has been tested, because when Juggernaut is spinning, this Walling Death is actually not damaging the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is magically immune, but not pure damage immune. Again, we don't get anything, but this time is the first time we'll see what's happening. 2 gold into 3 gold. Again, I'm going to repeat this. 2 gold enchanters selling for 3 gold. So this gives me a great chance to power boost because I've been saving those Enchantress for as long as we know. Now, we'll keep spending. Ah, Dragon Knight. What a surprise. Because this is a Goblin build, I'll still click the Dragon Knight because he's so rare. Ah, this is a bonus. Very nice. Now the sad part is I'm actually 1 gold short, and usually you want to lock in, and I'm gonna lock in now because I didn't expect to roll 4 goblins in 1 row, and I had a backup Dragon Knight, which means I'm okay with anything that's under 4 gold or 4 gold. But turns out this one actually cost me more gold than I expected because I was spending 5 gold. I buy the Tinker, gonna roll again, buy the Bounty. Now you quickly be able to see the pattern of playing because, okay, also I give my tankiest items to my Timbersaw, which by any chance if I got a Vitality booster I could have formed the Vanguard, but it's too late now, so I just let that go. Looking at this formation, Clockwork will be taking most of the damage, then Timbersaw, then Tinker. Both Bounty Hunters are not in a position to tank, but rather they're in a position to take anything that's offside. They're basically off tanks or off damage dealers. Now, because of the recent update, running 3 mages is actually very viable. I do plan to make a video about 3 mages. It's almost a versatility and a massive damage boost for any build currently. But because this build is purely a Goblin build, we'll stick with Goblins, and I'll show you the magic of Goblins. And we're getting some okay rolls as we see. Excellent roll again. Ah, this is actually one of the Dream rolls. I'm gonna take away one of the Tinkers. I'm gonna swap the formation, so right now this one will be taking most of the damage. Well, this is the off tank, and this is my off tank again. My preference for the Goblins are Tinkers, the ones that we don't use. My preference are always Timbersaw, Clockwork, and Bounty Hunter. What the Bounty Hunter does is actually hitting the backline units, and because usually the Bounty Hunters are 2-star, they actually deal quite a decent damage as we go. As you can see, my Bounty Hunter is cleaning the backline while my Timbersaw is cleaning up the front line. And as you can see, we're winning with ease, which is a very good thing, and we're currently on a 3 winning streak. One of the key part about this Goblin build is that you never ever level up your builder until you get to 6, and you'll be always spending. Now you might say that, is this worth it? Why don't I just get enough income? Well, the reason being is we need a lot of early game units. And if we don't get early game units now, we will never get those early game units. Not never, but we'll be running at a much lower chance. Right now, at level 5 builder, I have 75% of getting what I wanted. I don't need any 4 stars, except Alchemist. I don't need any 3 stars at all, except Shadowfiend, because Shadowfiend is a great damage dealer for any build. I'm 1 Tinker away from 3-star Tinker. I am 3 Clockwork away and 2 Bounty Hunter away. So right now I'm at a really good position. I'm saving the Druids for the same reason as before. Basically collecting 2 Enchantress and 1 other Druid and selling them for 1 additional gold. Now this Goblin build will enable us to get a win streak as early as round 4. This time I started my win streak around 7 or 5, but that's okay. As long as you keep your winning streak, you not only do you gain 3 gold every turn, you also stop the enemies or other players from getting their winning streak. Now we're still rolling. We got an extra bounty, so magically appears we have a Bounty Hunter 3-star at round 14. Now we also got 2 Clockwork, so this was a very smooth roll. So as you can see, we're still at level 5. Everybody else will be at level 6, which is okay, because our units are much stronger at the moment, because we're spending our gold rolling. We'll have a look at everybody else's gold. 15, 34, and it's hiding 24, 8, 9, 26, 4. So on average, most people are saving for about 5 to 15 gold. But 5 to 15 gold basically means you get 1 gold every time as interest. But what's happening to us is not only we receive the 1 gold win bonus, we also receive the 3 gold winning bonus. So it's effectively us if we saved for 40 gold. We'll be rolling, and lucky enough we got into clockwork. Well, not by luck, rather by pure probability. So now we have a 3-star clockwork. We'll be rolling again. There's a timber, excellent. So we'll stop here because ideally at round 15 you don't need any 3 stars, but with any 3 stars you should get your buy. So right now we're in a really good position, not because we got lucky, but rather we spent all the gold on goblins. So the idea of this build is to get your goblins as early as you can, and if by any chance you don't get any 3-star units by round 6 or by when you build it get to level 6, you stop there. There's the reason why, and it's tested multiple times by me and my friends, is that you stop getting 1-star units or 2-star units as you become level 6. You start getting a lot more variety of units, and it's actually becoming less worthwhile to start rolling. And also, we should consider saving for the economy, which I'll touch on very quickly. So usually this round, the round 15 wolves attack the backline, and if your backlines have bigger shadow thing and other units etc, you'll actually be susceptible to it. Excellent, we got our last tinker. So right now, this is actually a surprisingly smooth build. A smooth run I should say. I'm gonna stop here, I'm gonna start saving for gold. Usually I'll keep rolling, but the reason I will be rolling is because I want 1-star units, but I already collected 3 of the 4 units I wanted, and Timbersaw is a 2-star unit, and 2-star only have 35% rate. There's no need for us to keep rolling anymore. We're on level 16, and it's likely we'll be sitting on those units almost unchanged for the next 5 to 10 rounds, just to save up our income. Now the next part of this build, well, this guy's almost defeated my guys, actually not. So as you can see, the 3-star Tinker actually tanked a lot of damage. Also the 3-star Bounty Hunter dealt a lot of damage. It turns out it was the Timbersaw with the highest damage. Wow, look at this, and it's a Timbersaw. So we just need 1 more. Excuse me. So, the idea of this build is to get your units as early as you can, start saving when your builder gets to level 6, and what you're saving for is 50 gold for the 50 gold max cap interest. And for anyone that didn't know, each 10 gold you save without using, you gain 1 gold extra round in the form of interest, and you can get as high as 5 gold per round, and that's capped at 50. Once we get 50 gold, which easily we'll do because our units are much stronger with tier 3 units. Once we get to 50 gold, what we'll do is we won't be rolling, we'll be spending our gold to level up our builders. And as we all know, or in case anyone didn't know, as you level your builders, the rate of unit drop rate is going to change. It's going to reduce the tier 1 and tier 2 drop rate.
Enchanted,
and of
I'm
course,
sure.
I'll be doing this
I'll just sharpen my
little
spear
bit of
and ready to
adjustment.
go.
And I could have kept the Fury, but I sold him anyways. So as I was saying, as you level up your builder, the rate of higher tier units drop rate will be higher. This takes away the rate of lower tier drop rates. So right now 33% and 30% for tier 1 and tier 2 units, and 0% for tier 5 or legendary units. For the Goblin build, we need the Goblin Techies and Alchemist, of course. Alchemist is a 4-star unit, Techies is a 5-star unit. Having those two enabled the 6 goblin combo, which gives every goblin 15 armor and regeneration, and that's one of the best, well, not the best, but one of the best combos goblins can pull off. And there's increased survivability, regeneration, and well, just everything. So as we can see, right now we're on 39 gold, and if I win the next battle I'll be on 40 gold before the round ends, because the win bonus gold is actually paid the moment you win the battle, which we'll touch on it as a little nice trick to everyone. The goal now is to save up to 50 gold, then spending 250 gold without spending under 50 gold, and to get our builder to level 8, 9 and 10 as quickly as we can. And also, by any chance, if I do get another Timber Saw, this will be very nice, because I'll be having my 3-star Timber Saw, which for most Goblin build you won't even appear until like the very end of the game, because 2-star Timber Saw is very hard to get. Looking at it, this is the loot table, this is the units we can get, and if you count properly the 2+ units, it's actually 13 of them because of new Morphling. So Timber Saw is one of the 13 units you can get for 2 stars. So 30% divided by 13, we're looking at less than 3% rate of a Timber Saw. And as you can see, we start to get purple units. And those are not the ones we want. So let it go. Another little nice feature that we can keep in mind is around 20, and every 5 rounds after round 5, you'll be facing neutral creeps. Killing them will give you a chance of looting for items. Losing to them will lose a fixed amount of HP, depending on how many that's alive. The good thing about facing neutral units instead of players is that losing to the monsters won't affect your winning streak. So usually what people do is they won't be spending gold when they are round 20, from 25, every 5 rounds they will be saving the gold for the extra interest bonus. And with my IMG, of course, you can see we're not getting any items so far. Well, we are getting some items, but not as high. This build is stable because the fact it doesn't require any items, because our Goblin itself has great regeneration and great armor. Shadowfin is an interesting unit, and it's one of my favorite units. With Shadowfin, level 1 Shadowfin actually deals as much damage as any of the level 2 units. It has great AoE, great damage, only problem is it only has 450 health. Its attack speed is pretty good, 154. Looking at everybody else, they have not as high attack speed except for this Bounty Hunter, which have 170. The downside for Bounty Hunter is its ability is a single target, and a single target for late game is not good enough. Again, with this formation, as you can see, my units are on the side, and they just focus down the Blade Master level 2 as the 3 or 4 units hitting. This is very important because not only do I snipe out the unit early, I also enable my units to receive damage from this unit that's casting the spell. But as we continue, let's look at our potential competitors. This is the one, and he hasn't been losing, and as you can see, his health is pretty high. And now, as my gold goes up and I was distracted, I should have been leveling my builder. As you can see, I'm spending my gold only to 50, and right now I am level 7, increasing rate of 4-star again, and also 0% for 5-star. So the plan is to get a builder to at least level 9 before we start rolling, and if by any chance we get to level 10 without losing, well, the game's pretty much sealed because we have 6% of getting our techies. What most people fail with the Goblin build, any Goblin run at this stage, is that they haven't got their 3-star units, they haven't got the tier 3 units, and also they have not, one moment, they haven't got the 3-star units as early as we did, and also they have not planned their rolling for techies. I'll explain this as we go. And that's a really good roll. Got an Alchemist, got another Shadow Fiend. Alchemist is a very underrated hero. What Alchemist does is Asset Spray. By reducing the armor of enemy units by 5, basically increase everyone's damage output by about 20%. Now, with the Alchemist on the table, I have 5 goblins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different goblins, that is. And with 5 different goblins, we're looking at the last goblin, which is Tinker. And also at this stage, as most of us remember, we haven't added a lot of units since round 16. But we're still strong enough that we can win the battles with not so much at ease, but with a bit of struggle. Because of my 3-star units, we can still tank it and we can still deal some damage. So, 72 gold again. As you can see, I haven't been paying a lot of attention in terms of spending my gold wisely because we have been winning and I have been a little distracted. As you can see, round 24, someone just got a 3-star axe. And if we remember, at round 14, we got a bounty hunter to 3-star. So this build is about getting your units early, saving, and then power boosting to level 9 and 10 for the maximum chance. And that's a 3-star task, which is okay. Right now it's okay for us to lose, but because of the Shadow Fiends, we're actually winning with ease. Again, this guy, he's doing well, but he's not saving. Those guys, regardless if they save or not, they are running out of health. So my only competitor will be this guy because, well, he's got wings. I like the new updates for the wings. Round 25, be a neutral round. Most people save for the neutral round. Well, for me, I'll be saving regardless. The idea of rolling at level 9 and level 10 builder is that level 9 you get 3% of a legendary drop, and level 10 you get a 6%. And for our build, the moment we get techies, the build is complete. We just need something on top of it. Without techies, we don't have the survivability for late game or mid to late game. So the reason being is to get your income as high as you can, spend all the income access to get to level 9, level 10, and start rolling for techies.
Try to outsmart me and you'll just end up
Items like attack items usually are not so important right now because none of the items can change the course of battle. But initially at the start I will give it a Shadow Fiend or Bounty Hunter. We'll be spending all the gold into the actual leveling up. So now I'll be leveling up a little more to add 1 more unit. So what's happening here is I have 2 Warlock already. Usually my last Warlock will be Enigma, but because I have enough gold, just about 40, usually you want multiples of 10s, 30, 40, 10, 20, 50. So this gives you the highest interest potential. So right now with my 3 Warlock, we actually have 20% Mattjestic, and it also is a crucial part of our build. And just as we did that, we just lost the battle, which is okay. Because we lost the battle to this guy, and that's the only guy that have a chance of beating us. And the reason being is we have been spending a lot of the gold onto the builder and not rolling for any units we wanted. Losing this battle doesn't mean that we lost our advantage, but just means that the game gave him a chance to come back against us. So we're gonna fuse this Shadow Fiend. Gonna put 1 more unit. Right now the goal is still to get to level 10 as fast as we can with 40 or 50 gold saved up for the highest income potential. Losing last battle means that we lost our winning streak. That means we lost 3 gold per round for about 9 rounds if we keep winning. But because I have already stabilized, it's okay for me to lose some gold. And looking at him, he's on level 8, he's 8 gold. That means he's not saving as well. So as long as I get anybody else except him, I should be able to win with relatively okay. But as you can see, we got him again. And this is the loss. Right now we're at 75% health, which is acceptable because we have been saving up a lot of health at the start with the win streak. And I am gonna get a Conquer. For the fact he stuns AoE, Conquer is a cheap version of the Tide, which I'll touch on Tide once we get onto him. Conquer has the delay for the bolt, but it does good flat damage, good AoE. The delay is 3.1 seconds, which is okay. So right now, this build is good enough to take almost everyone except the first guy, because with the Druid, he power spikes before us. Oh, there's a Tide there. This will be interesting. And as you can see, the positioning of the Conquer actually set off the bolt before his Tide did anything. And the round's pretty much over because this is Hunter build, and the Hunter build didn't push us back, he didn't defend against us, and the Medusa died. Or Medusa casted her spell too late. So again, right now we have 4 players left, 1 in 3 chance of getting the first guy, which still have a high potential of beating us. 61 gold. Right now I need 36 XP. 36 XP means I need 45 gold to get my level up to max, but I'm not in a big hurry. So I'm gonna keep the gold and see how we go. If we lose too badly, I might start spending. If we don't lose too badly, I always get to level 10 before I start spending. Because 3% drop rate and 6% drop rate is a pretty big difference. As some of you might have thought of this or expected, we have 3 Warlock. This Venomancer will be changed into a Enigma very soon, the moment we get it across. And this enables us to 20% lifesteal. This is not crucial. The crucial part is because we already have an Alchemist, we already have a Shadow King. And the Enigma is one of the best damage dealers for the late game. So those 3 Warlocks are basically what we need, and they also boost up the damage potential of the build. Again, we're not getting anything, and I won't be getting this Venomancer. So most likely, I'll be spending my gold. Right now I need 19 XP. And this is round 30. This is a safe round for me because my units should be strong enough to take the neutral creeps without losing too much health or killing all of them. And also give me another 10 to get my 5 gold interest. And for those who have noticed, we haven't got another Timbersaw for like, what, about 10 rounds? And that's expected because 2-star drop rate is at 30% now, and this won't change throughout the course of the game. And that means it's actually increasingly harder to get the units we wanted. Oh, so good items. And I think we lost this one. Close though. Very close. 33 health. But basically, well, my dudes got unlucky. And I was rewarded, compensated for Timbersaw. Which I gladly accept. Giving out a good item to the Timbersaw, which guarantees that he will be a really good tank.
Time to shove
It's a
off.
Lich as well.
I am the dead
Oh, nice. I think I'll put a Lich down. Lich, unfortunately, doesn't fit in any part of our build because we're not running it as undead, and also the -5 armor for the late game or mid game is not that substantial. And our Timbersaw is going to do work because although it's got minus armor, it still is very tanky and deals a lot of damage. Oh, whose bolt is it? It's his bolt. This anti-mage is a pain, but it's okay. We got enough units to deal with it. Now this fella, he just lost to someone else. Let's see who he lost to. He lost to JJ, who is on the verge of death. Oh, next turn, I think we're looking at a very nice turn because we'll be level 10 builder next turn. And I'm not rushing it because the fact that I already lost my winning streak, and spending gold for a winning streak is basically the equal trade-off. What I need now is I'll need a gyrocopter, a techies, and an enigma, and a tide. So I need basically 4 of the 5 legendaries in the game, and I got the one I didn't, which is still really great. It's just a really great unit. The channel force is actually a great damage and also slows the enemy. Like if we cast it, we would have been in trouble, would we? So losing this one is acceptable. We have enough health and we survive long enough. Now we're facing last part, which now is about purely RNG. 1, excellent. We got one of the units we wanted. We'll be rolling again, purely for the fact
Green, I go.
we have a bit more units. I'm not going to take this Lich. Actually, where are I now? I'll take the Lich, sell the Druid, and now we have a bunch of random things. So, it's this guy, the first guy in the game. And it's likely we lose, but at the same time we have an Enigma which deals a lot of damage. We have 2 Liches, and I think we got this. Because looking at Enigma's build of his 2-set, he deals 5% of pure damage for 10 seconds. That means 50% of AoE damage to whoever stands in the pool. Because we're tanky enough, we'll actually deal enough damage and we'll take down the enemy. And here this player is gonna die very soon. He just left the game.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
And I'm still looking.
Time to
I
shove
might
off.
get this Conquer, but he's basically a cheap version of a Tide. I got an Alchemist. I'm not seeing anything. So I'm gonna get this Conquer,
Step lively now.
which is gonna
Your
cost me
admiral is on board.
when I sell him. It's not a big deal. I'll put it in the front so he starts casting. My 2 Liches can stay back a bit. Actually, okay, time's up. So now the only thing I need, as we all know, is techies. If I don't get techies, we still have a good chance of winning. But if we do get techies, our chance of winning is pretty much 90 or 80%. So when Enigma casts this thing, we basically deal enough damage, everyone dies. And now the Great Challenge comes, wins 1 vs 1. Because for his build, he's lost to me. It's excellent. So knowing that I am still stronger without my
Enchanted, I'm
techies.
sure.
Oh, we got a Tide, we got Alchemist. Very good. Our Tide can go up. Lich can come back. Alchemist gets there. So let's see. We should be selling our enchanters for additional gold. This is round 35. I'm gonna stop here to guarantee my 3 interest because I'm on 30 gold. The units that we can replace are Lich, Conquer, and that's it. Oh, that was a really bad position by me. Basically, the Lich didn't cast anything, the Tide died instantly. Oh no, the Lich cast something, Enigma didn't cast anything. But Timbersaw still tanked through, which is very good. Again, we're not seeing any of the units we wanted. And because we're on pretty good health, I think we can wait 1 more round. And with our friend here, although he has some 3-star units, he's not getting to level 9, and I am already on level 10, so I'm on pretty big advantage right now. I think I might swap the Shadow thing and Enigma and the Lich. Usually my last line will be Assassins. I want them to take care of the enemy Assassins, but in this case they don't have any Assassins. So I think that's my Conquer, that's my Tide, and the fate of this match is pretty much sealed. Because I'm running on such a high income and running on such a high unit count that his 8 units are not stronger than my 10 units. And this is also on top of the fact we don't have a techies. As I said that we got a techies. So this is, I think, the nail on the coffin, the deal breaker, however you want to call it. We don't need any more lich, because lich is not part of our build. Usually you want the techies to be as front as you can in the middle of the game, but not as front they will die before he casts his spell. So this is a pretty good position. Once my tide gets to level 2, he'll be moving to the front like the Conqueror. So right now, as you can see, all my units have this buff, and this buff is lifting up and turning out this generation. And he's not killing anything because they're so tanky and they deal enough damage because they're level 3. And I think this will be the end of the game. And he knows it as well. So, Gyrocopter, another piece of the combo. Gyrocopter is actually a really good DPS and really crucial for the Goblin build, which people might not think of it. Gyrocopter has one of the longer range because it's the dwarf. It also has a really good nuke that goblins lack of. And as we say, I should be probably rolling for some new units, because we're actually sitting on so much gold. I'm gonna roll to 50. And nothing, it's okay. I don't think by any chance he can come back, because if he was losing to me without techies, and the moment I got techies, it's pretty much game over for him. And I think he's still got health for one more round. Yeah, I think it still lasts one more round. And right now, because I'm sitting on such a comfortable position, I'll be keeping all the units I need. But if I were on any other position, I might opt for not saving for the Alchemist. And Tide's level 3 as well. Once Tide's level 2, you want him to be on the front so he can cast his Ravage as early as he can while he takes damage. Because he's sitting on 1900, it's likely he won't die before he casts his Ravage. And if he's at the front, in the middle, he'll be able to cast it and hit everyone. As you can see, I think the Tide will be casting it. There we go, hits everyone. And it's a great damage, and you can stop. I think this will be the end game. And I think he got this. GG and well played. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little Goblin guide, and I'll look to improve on it as we go. And this is the newest improved version for the latest update. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe and have a like. Thank you.